Hey, welcome back to Europa Universalis 5. I'm Decathlon Gamer. This is Scotland, and we're trying to make a push towards the end of this campaign, so I'm sneaking in extra streams on a almost daily basis to the point of I have to ignore what's going on with the World Cup, at least initially, start as early as I can, and then catch up on what's going on in that world soon thereafter. Anyway, we are doing quite well in this campaign, though the last run was, well, problematic. It was problematic primarily because the Court and Country nasty event triggered, and we had to just survive that couple decade span. And then I had the gall to try to go after England during that stretch, and it did not pan out. None of my vassals, none of my colonies supported France, did not join the war, and England got in places I didn't expect them to get to, and so it was rough. But we've got South Africa under lock and key. We've got much of America under lock and key. Excuse me. Whew. That was a tickle of the nose. And we've got much of the Scandinavian northern lands under our control. We are doing quite well, but even then, we're still only 35th. We are in the midst of yet another war with England. Not England, Mali, thanks to France. Over and over again, they keep attacking them and getting absolutely nowhere. So we'll see how this one goes. We have embraced 2 of the 3 institutions of the age. The third one, well, we just need to be patient. We've already spent our stab on the first 2. We still have some, and we would technically have a positive stability, but not by much. So we're trying to be patient with that one. And then there's a few other things to keep an eye on. And primarily... And hold on, give me a second. I need to change my audio to my headphones. There we go. So you don't get any feedback. That'll make a difference. The other thing, let's see, what was it? I'm going to minimize markets. We don't need to look at those right now. They are what they are. Where are you guys located, huh? Attrition somewhere. Ah, there we go. That's right, we just finished a conflict over here. We had 2 pretty big civil wars there that last time. There we go, they are united. But they are suffering some attrition, which is definitely not what I want. That was a new one we just built. Pikemen. We're building up a permanent force here. I'm not sure Boston's the best place for that. We might want to come a bit further south, down here around the Chesapeake. Yeah, probably there. Get below the winter attrition levels. All right, the estates are very busy. I've been granting city rights to Belfast to try another attempt at getting a naval governor to work. I just cannot figure it out why it's not working. And meanwhile, Inverness is one we've been trying to push up to get to 30k so that we can get a local governor there after turning it into a city. And we're on our way to that. We've got irrigation really high. We should have granaries really high, and we do. Yes. So we are kind of maximizing our population growth. Yeah, it is. I'm going to be turning this into kind of a key center. I'm going to go ahead and add a construction. And then let's see if there's anything else. Fiber crop farms is another good one. In fact, isn't fiber crop farms going to help feed population because it adds food? No, that's not coming in as a food. But clearly it'll make some money, so we'll help that out. Tart kiln's also another moneymaker. Bog iron smelter's a moneymaker, so we'll build those guys up a little bit and then see what we can do here. reorganize. Gunsmith. Okay. Weaponsmith. Papermaker. Okay. So, Inverness is already going to start being fed some growth. Anticipating that 30k is coming fairly soon. Our fleet took a gigantic hit. We got our transports upgraded to the modern era. That made a big difference. Helpful. Heavy ships, we're building some of the better ones, but that England in that war decimated our galleys, so we're not getting as much maritime presence boost as we were getting before, as we just picked up some decent traits there for the 3-year-old heir. Go and pay for that expensive education. We're making more money now than we ever have, so we very much want to continue on with that. The Little Ice Age continues on. It's got, what, 50 years still to go? Okay, let me spend. And we want to spend in a couple of places. Trade. We've hit the point where trade is becoming a very, very valuable way to go. We're making a lot of money in those markets, various markets that we are in. Settlements, that's pop growth, migration, attraction. The local governor is something on the way. This is kind of everything. Bridges. We still have no bridges because there's no rivers in our main market, but there are bridges elsewhere. But I don't know if they're going to actually do us any good because there's no proximity around. Yeah, there's no proximity to be had, so never mind building bridges. We would need that local governor first. We have weaponsmiths that can be upgraded. Oh, that could make us some money, but that could also hurt. Let me take this on a more kind of metered scale. We'll actually upgrade that entire set in the capital, and then just upgrade a few others. And let me figure out what was it I was after. Well, settlements, irrigation are definitely going to be. Let's get a giant mass build of settlements. We need pops. That's going to give me pops. That's spent a lot of money, but 57 settlements on the way. Irrigation is another one. Just mass build. Boom, boom, boom. There you go. We want a big population. Boom. I wanted to get into market stuff, though. That's what I was looking for. I came across settlement. Or pop boost instead. Projects. The projects we have going on. We are assimilating Agder, and we've gotten, 4 locations flipped now? We're halfway through that project, but these larger locations are going to take a little bit longer to get through. Looking at the demography side, yeah, plus 76, going fast, but we're only at 22%. We're nearly there here, gaining 110 and at 48.5. That one's at just 22%, but gaining at 60 plus 93 is at 43%. Is this? No, that is the next state over. So we will get through flipping Agder here fairly soon. That was another thing we've been working on and getting very close to. We have a 1.31 spare tolerance for accepted culture. And we need 1.48. So we've got it down to 0.17 now, inching our way closer. So that's very much something I want to do as soon as possible. And we're not going to do it at a level 0. We will do it at about 0.1. So we're getting very, very close to accepting Norwegian. So we're actively trying to not only flip some of the Norwegian to lower the cost, but we're also actively trying to assimilate some of the Danish, even though they're already cored, as they have us a bit of a cost. And here's that constant warfare. These two nations, every single time the expiration of their white peace, they go right back to war, and they're just not making any progress with it. It's really sad. Okay, that's our new heavies. Yes, 2 new heavies joining the fleet. We only have 2 places that can construct the advanced heavy that we have, but looking at, let's see, culture. Nope, that's population. There we go, culture. We're at 69%. Whoa, hello. That's surprisingly, and 51%. So these have both actually flipped in the last little bit to Scottish, and you can see how have converted a fair bit of the Danish into Scottish, and that's making a big difference on us. We've got 2 more ships coming in, so our heavies fleet is definitely getting stronger here. Yeah, there's the other 2. So they'll be at 57. Oh, it's a new war. Don't need to slow down for that. There we go. So 23 heavies overall, and about half of them are of the stronger variety. Possible frontage. We just entered our new age and started our tech. That was the first military tech for that. Anyway, so this is getting so close to being able to flip, and that's 3 of our cabinet slots tied up in that. The assimilating Agder, Vendasil, and increasing control in Agder to help it flip faster. And there you go. Lindesnes just flipped. And we have another breakout. Oh, that's a lot of constructions. Good to see, though. We're already back to 2K, by the way. That happened very quickly. Rebellions. The next one's at 33%. Okay. Gaigono has joined Tanasi. Onondaga. Okay, we have... Is it all here? Let me see before we kind of get too far into this. Next rebellion. Okay, no, that's bigger than expected. So they've pulled in some friends. All of the Genoese territory that we took, the native territories up here, and is that all this time? No Norwegians this time, no Icelandic or Greenland pops. It's all just New World, which we have that new force that we were working on. That's the capital that we're going to have to take back. But we're going to have to take the others as well. So we'll start with that capital and work from there. Oh, I'm still on this cultures map. There we go. Okay, an army of 6.8k should be able to take it. I don't think I need my levies for this, but we will keep an eye on the population base. And yeah, no, it looks like we're fine. These thousands seem to be all that there is, at least at the moment. The Tanasi, for some reason, has no forces that we know of. Okay, you're going to be easier to pull back. Let me get this group first. They're going to be moving on faster. Take them out. We can call France in, but I don't need France for this. It's going to be an easy enough task. There we go. The Mende War is over. War reparations is all they took, though. So they didn't take any land off of them. And apparently we do not know how to chase an army. We are taking literally the longest route to get to them. Okay. Integrating on and... Oh, right. We were almost done with that, but the one that stayed, which cored right away, we were integrating. We were looking at 2 other things, and then the war broke out. Encouraging naval We've made about 6 points of progress on that one. It's moving slow, but at least it's moving. Naval is going to help us push maritime presence instead of land pushing proximity over land, but we have such a small landscape and we're trying to push Inverness to get control that way anyway, so we're offsetting. And with the naval push, bigger maritime presence, we're going to get more control spread out over other areas. But this is our integration specialist. And yeah, maybe we need to integrate over here right now. This has broken out into rebellion quite a few times, so we'll take that one. Okay, maybe I should manage how we do this. Oh, they came together. Perfect. Let's sit for just a few seconds. Maybe a couple more. I don't need full morale. I just needed some morale. And there you go. Stack one. Now, go get that capital. Go ahead and split in half. And that's not, it's here. It looks like it's up there, but yeah, it's the other way. It's this location. But there's also a castle there. We'll go ahead and siege it down as well. Here comes 33 colonialists. Are they actually going to participate? They're a little late to the game, but they are, for the moment, actually participating. No, they changed their mind. They're running away. With 56,000 colonialists not really contributing anything. No, they just traded off. They're going to actually siege down a location. So today is going to be about a 2-hour stream, give or take. Objective is to try to get to the end of the campaign here as quickly as possible. I have three new games coming out. Untimely Dry Spell. This is not a good one. Like, people are going to freeze to death. Or it's a dry spell, I'm not sure. Cold Dry Spell. We spend a good amount of ducats. They're going to lose some food. They're going to lose less people. People are your most valuable resource, so we need those people. That's a lot of people to lose. Alright, so we already have a nice healthy war score of plus 38. We are going to have to make sure that's all one country. We have to get the capital, so Satopo, in order to take everything, Satapo, in order to take everything back. So we do have a vassal right there. Hopefully they can pick up Satapo, and we can actually, once these 2 sieges are done, we would be able to end the conflict if our colonies are able to grab that. Otherwise, we will still have a small amount of work to do once one of these sieges is done. Both at minus 28. Stab's already back up to 37, so we're recovering pretty quickly there. And the cost has come down a little bit, down to 23. I don't need to keep it above 30. Getting the 5% bonus would be nice. Oh, something's fallen. Tanasi still has a force. But it looks like we're already on it. Satapo still... They just siege back down what they took, which means they probably just took out their forces too, but yeah, it'd be nice if they would siege those 2 guys down. Seton, better relations. Do I need that? Not really. Nope, don't care about Seton. Lose prestige, lose legitimacy. We can lose the legitimacy. We took a giant prestige hit recently. We're back up to 58. Highest rank we've had yet. Getting better all the time. Of course, that institution score is such a huge part of it, and we'll embrace that additional one. It'll push us up a little bit further. Right now, we'd be at 15 stab. I think when I get it to about 20, that'll be close enough. We'll go ahead and take that. These guys are both really close. There you go. They within a couple of days. There you go. Let's bring them together. There we go. And I'm guessing Satapo is still not taken. It's not. So we will march our way on down to Satapo. And at 72%, we should be able to reclaim everything once we hold that capital, or at least I would assume that that would be enough to do so. So another thought that I'm having here is, as we just started to invest in Inverness, as that's going to be that next city, and then a local governor to increase control in that region, that means that region is becoming fair game for more towns and more production, and especially specialization, which I've still never gotten into, and I really think I should take some time to actually do that. Specialize in different industries, and we don't want colony of Rappahannock. We need to wait till the turn of the month, and then we're gonna have the same problem here now, aren't we? Nope, you still haven't flipped. Scotland, thank you. Okay, can we change this one? Yes, we can. Scotland, thank you. Okay, that could and should be. They hold one of ours, but that's okay. That's not a big deal. We hold all of this. 100% war score. We should be able to take everything here now. And then we should be able to get some ducats along with it. There is a annex all button, but the annex all button immediately jumps to like 70% war score, and you can reclaim things manually for a whole lot less, 26 war score. Not to say that we have 30 war score of other things to do, but especially if somebody joins in with a nation, it's a much cheaper way to go, and I just instinctively do that every time anyway. So yes, that's everything. That is everything back in our possession, and then the ducats are going to be limited because they have not had much of an economy for long. So yeah, 72 ducats is all, but hey, I'll take 72 free ducats. Civil War done. Last we saw, everybody was at 30%, so no new rebellions coming. And let's bring you back on over towards Rappahannock. And the Mali War is still ongoing. And we're now at 40%. But no pending threats. We have 3 current charters as we continue to colonize 2 times in Africa, once up here. Yeah, things are very much filling in now. You've got Castile on the Pacific coast, and hello, new map. Starting to get that Pacific. Speaking of, I have 0 explorations right now. Let's go ahead and get this one, though. We would probably get this one off of somebody soon enough here. But I'll go ahead and take it. We had, let's see, where's our town? That's in Pondo, but that's okay. Mali wants that white peace, so I'm sure the war will end soon enough here. And I guess we'll start to colonize inland, as we have no jump to push our colonization any further right now. Which means maybe we want to try to go explore in the direction of like Australia, but it looks like there's already France out there too, but maybe there's still colonization to happen in that direction. So we want to start maybe here. We've done a bit more with this area, so let's go ahead and get in Magella for that one. Let's make sure they have the materials they need. Tools is a little bit light, but they have it. And so let me find, let's see, Katara is one of the towns. Katara, let me add some tools. Sorry, there is some yard work going on outside right now. Tools Workshop. Says it's not going to make money, but we're not there for it to be profitable. We're there for it to serve a purpose, and in this case, that purpose is exploring these unexplored areas. We do it on that institution. There's your 20 threshold. Let's go ahead and get it embraced. Manufactories, that would complete the trio. We are now embraced all the way through except for the final age. That has not happened yet. Ooh, Zambezi. That's a good one. Yeah, that was... Oh no, that's my exploration that I just started, I think. We're gonna have to take a look at like a Rosvi and see just how strong are they. They've got a decent force in there. Now I'm guessing technology-wise they're going to be a ways behind. We can look at their institutions at least. They only have 1.5 million pops, so it's much smaller than ours. Our economy, not quite 10 times the strength of theirs, maybe 8 or 9 times. But they do have a sizable force. It's just, is that force capable of much of a fight? Let me look at institutions. As we just got our next, that's our flipping Agdar area. Rosvi is working on current age. They're only one age behind. Yeah, they are only one age behind, so they are not drastically behind us. It's just a single age. And of course, we've only just entered this current age, so we do not have any sort of significant boost yet. We just finished the first tech. So artillery bonus versus forts, the next one, and there's more to come after that. But for now, we have no drastic advantage over them. Bastion works, back the war effort, reinforcement speed, lose. I don't. No. We're not even in the war, so we're fine there. Baronio Burrs. Dev and founding town costs dropped while the issue is being debated. There's a good motivation. We were just talking about putting more towns in the north. We would move a little bit towards free trade. Oh, that's if it fails. We would move towards mercantilism if it passes. Oh, I like this one. That's a lot. That's a huge development push, and it's in Scotland. Those are all Scotland or Ireland cities. Or Norwegian. Hauglandet. Fana are Norwegian. But yeah, that's all Irish, Scottish, Norwegian territory. Viborg also, so Danish. But it's close to the capital. That's big. Yeah, it's going to take some movement as we're only at 40%, but That's a big one. One development, one dev is a huge boost. Cannot let that one fail. Cannot let that fail. But while it's going, we get the town bonus. So we need to pick out some towns in this area. Let me first kind of look at what our pops are like. Aberdeen's already a town, should be. Yes. What about like Dundee or Perth? Perth is a town. You kind of want one for every state. So we don't have one in Dundee or Kincardine, right? No, neither one of those is a town. What is the resource? That's 16 of 18 fruit. That's sturdy grains. Don't really want to lose any of those. We'll leave that town be. As for Aberdeen, that's your state. So we have Inverness, which already has that state. We have a good population here at Ardornish, and it's salt. How is salt as a resource? We're looking at... Are you going to tell me about salt? What's the tax base price of salt? That's a good price. Seems like a good trade commodity. Okay. Dingwall would be the next one, and wild game. I think that's a pretty easy one to get around. 14k pops is not as good as Urquhart, which is on sturdy grains. Sturdy grains are going to feed better than the wild game. 3.5, 5. So we'll turn this one into a town. There we go. There's one. We'll pick one of these guys up here too. That's also wild game. Clay, and fish, and only level 9. Meaning that would actually be a pretty easy one to promote to a town. Okay, we'll found a town there as well. We are getting close enough for Orkney or Shetland. Orkney's 11k. Shetland's 13. It's wool. That's fish. We found a town there as well. Yeah, that's close. That's going to have good control. It's already 48 now, 49. That'll go up some. Okay, town number 3, back to over here. What was... This is all one big state. Inverary. 33k. That's a big enough to be a city. That's got to be our choice. It's lumber, though. Man, lumber is good. Lumber is good, but there's good ways to get it back. So let's go ahead and go in there as well. There you go. I think that's task done. Do we want an inland? Nope, Perth already is. Maybe Lewis. Nope, we're not granting trade monopolies. Commissioner's unhappy for a little bit. Okay. Yeah, that's all one state. 12k. That's wool. That's wool. There's fish again, and only an 8 in sky. Rogland again. That event's hit Rogland a few times. Do I want one more town right here? No, I think we're good. It's offshore anyway. It's a few tiles around the other way. Now, we are not all connected by road, and as we go to make that into a city, which 28,200 now, it's getting close. We are going to need to connect some of this area up via road, specifically like right here, and then it's already connected otherwise. But I don't think we've upgraded all the roads through here. No, we must have yellows. Yellow's paved and green is the lesser, the gravel. Gain 300, lose 5 support. Oh, I gotta keep an eye on that. Lose 10 prestige. We need to keep this thing up. We very much want this one to pass. We're also going to need road going the other direction. We have to here, but we don't have to Lochaber. Right now, all of this is coming all the way around for its proximity. So having a more direct, and that means you're going to want to upgrade that one. And probably this one, I would imagine this becomes a stronger source this direction. We need to upgrade this one. And it's probably going to give us a better source in that way, so upgrade those. There's a positive event. We're at 45 now. And lastly, just in case, we don't know yet until we actually have that proximity source. But we're taking our chances that it is going to be a significant upgrade. Let's go ahead and get that one upgraded as well. Not sure we're going to need this one though. We'll sit that one out. That one's probably cheaper through the sea tile. Last 20 days. That is not. That's the white piece with all the extra little minor nations. But Mali's still there and it's still at -9. 29 battles though. They're actually going after it, but they're all tiny battles. Itty bitty tiny battles. 13 days. Get me inside the last week where you can still have one last triggered event. Yeah, what am I at? 45.53. So we need 4.5. We need 4.5. New monastery. No, we do not want to reduce army recruitment. We do not want a traditional economy, but the new monastery does not get me over the mark. But it's a really cheap one. Let me see what else we get after that. Address Merchants Guild's complaints. That might work. That's going to have to work. The Lairds, though, are going to be pretty upset here, down to 41%. They'll get over it soon enough. La Plata Sea. There we go. Finally getting that South American tip of South America. I said you can get one in the last week. We just got one. That triggered on 4 days to go. It would have been enough. We wouldn't have needed to click through those couple. But there you go. Huge dev boost. Production's going to go up. And at 28.3, that's going to be a city here very soon. But in the meantime, we've already built up the support region, and that's going to give us a lot more places to specialize. And that's the next thing. We do want to specialize. So let me check, like, say, Irvine. Irvine has 5 weaponsmiths. 5 tools guilds, but those all need to be upgraded. Tailors guilds, like what can we specialize in? There's the artillery bonus versus fort. The next one, is it going to be more useful for me right now? Or score efficiency. That's good. That's nice. I gotta figure out how, where, what. Where's this button regarding specialization? Grant urban rights. There it is. But do we have anybody who really stands out as, like, they do one thing? Wool, Spinners Guild, Gleska. We're going to grant urban rights regarding wool. Leather, jewelry. Didn't even know that there was a granary one. That's a good way to make a big old city. Masonry, naval supplies, printing, spirituous, wine, liquor, and beer. Sure, makes sense. Staple port. Textile. Cloth. Output. Fine cloth. Dyes. That's your one right there. Textile rights. Cost me 5 legitimacy to make that happen, but we're gonna get a big output boost in these guys here, which means we're gonna want to keep pushing those out further. We build the maximum of each of them. Is this what I think it is? Paper makers. No, that's not gonna. Dyes is the other one. Let me check on our dyes setup. Economy and raw materials output. Okay. Dyes we haven't even gotten into, so we want to get into the dyes market, and we want to max it out. If I can find where it is on my list. Now that it's just disappeared on me. There you are. We will max it out. If we're going to lean into it, we lean into it. There's your, yet again, white piece. And I guess I could try to contribute. But they're not really contributing. You see those tiny little forces. They're showing up with... They're thinking of it like the natives who are like tier 1 tech. Mali is not that. Mali is quite strong, quite powerful. You're wasting your time by going cheaply at Mali. It's never going to happen. You need a massive force. Okay, town rights just popped in. We're going to have lots of new options, but Inverness needs to be a city first. What's our rate gain right now? Oof. 0.64. It's not terrible. That's not terrible, but that's not great. It's only plus 15. Upper Egypt. Well, there's a new direction. We haven't gotten any maps that way. You have room for one more on the sturdy grains. Go ahead and take it. And then what do we want to do? Anything like food capacity. We turn Inverness into a granary town. There you go. Local council, local crown power, max control. Yeah, let's take that. We want to get as much as we can in there. Marketplace probably is a good one. Trade advantage, trade capacity, market access. That doesn't necessarily help, but pop assimilation speed would help a little bit. But more burgers power in a place that's going to have a lot going on is not necessarily what we need. Here's some others. Local maritime presence. If we're going to be pushing out a proximity source here, we want that coastal fort. Shipyard is also going to help with harbor capacity. It's going to take a while to promote some pops into that, but they'll get over it. And we're going to need a local fort, I guess, if that's going to be a big key local governor. Speaking of bastions, I need to upgrade all of our forts down here to bastions. Excuse me. Okay. So maybe we start with Bellingham and upgrade to a Bastion. Okay, yeah, it's an upgrade, costs 720. There we go. Do we want to go to Berwick for the next one? What else is that? We have, oh, a dry dock. Okay, let's upgrade it. And upgrade to the Bastion. Alright, we'll take those for now. Get those couple key. These two our capital one should get upgraded. Oh, we have a barracks ready to upgrade? What do we have now? Let's upgrade 2. Upgrade the shipyard. Upgrade the Bastion. Upgrade the barracks. As much as it says we're missing a lot, it'll retain the ones from before, so that number's not as bad as it appears. Coming of age. Grandson. Sweet. More maps. And more maps. Okay, I think that's enough kind of locally for a second. Let me get back into checking all those new maps. Yes. Speaking of all those new maps. And we've got that exploration done. So we now see all of Rosvi. We see our path to kind of lock that in. But again, they've got a good number of troops. And they're only one age behind us. We're about to finish another tech, but they're only one age behind us. We do not have a healthy advantage over them. We just picked up Lower California. At least we're starting to see coastal edge, but we can't do any explorations through here. We're not in position to do so. I'd very much like to take this land off of the natives, and the natives are going to be gaining on tech, and they are gaining on tech. But of course you've got to start researching, and you're going to be so far behind. Matt, hi. Not sure what you're trying to say there, but hello, welcome. Oh, just got seas through there too, so it's all kind of triggering, firing off at once. And we've got most of South America now, getting down to the last kind of pockets, and we have the sea tiles around the tip now as well. So that's all coming together on us. So it's good. Okay, we lost a cabinet member. That was a family member also, but we do have another family member, I think, available. Yeah, 16-year-old, the Crown Prince. Let's maybe put you to work, but we want to get you working on something useful. This one's admin. It's a 52-52. It's the same. This is the increasing control. Let's just put Alfred on it. We still have one non-family member, otherwise it's all within the family, finally. It only took us 300 years to finally have a family that stayed alive long enough and produced enough offspring to actually build a support network of nepotism. Measles, the latest. That is a reminder of something we very much need, and that is hospitals. We do not have anywhere near enough. Let's start in our market here. The new towns are going to get theirs. Then we can drop this and mass build as many hospitals as we can elsewhere. We are losing too many pops and it's been okay. Yeah, we've got some children. We avoided this for a while. Rory might be a good one. It's not too late there. What's your shrewd? Balanced? Okay, that's one we can, if it'll give me the option. Where are you at? There we go. Get the expensive education on him. The others, it's way too late to bother. Throw 100 ducats at somebody who's only going to get a year benefit. They're going to pick up next to nothing. Abrasive. Just brought him on court, and then he's immediately giving us negative modifiers. Truce with Portugal about to expire, which is Nazima, which means France is going to declare war again here in just a freaking moment. It's our one cabinet member. Norway is the only one unhappy. Ooh, Columbian Exchange. Is it too late for you? Do we want to bring, like, Chile? I don't think we have any Chile. It's much further south than where we are. Pacific Hawaii. Nice. Okay, we have a colony done. Let's go ahead and figure out which one. Umangandalova. Probably not this one. No, it's still... That's almost done, though. It's the last one there. That's probably this one. Condé. Yeah, there's Condé there. Okay, so keep it part of Scotland. Okay, there's our Pacific Hawaii. Do we want to just move inland on these guys? We have nothing else to... Oh, maybe we do. We do. We can get a colony out here. Okay. Pushing off into the sea then. Oh, look at that. Now we're gaining 8,800. We were gaining like 2,000 before. We've turned it into 8,000. That's how much progress we have made in terms of all those granaries and marketplaces, all those boost your population options that we put in. Not marketplaces. Irrigation, etc. Indian South, that's good. That's the direction we want to go. Told you they were going to declare war on Nazima anytime now. Okay, we got Lindesnes and Oyastad, so we're down to the last two now. Otterness. How we doing? Otterness plus 71 and 33%. 33%. They're both on 33%. It's going to take them a little while, but they're getting there. They are getting there. It slowed down because of the war. Speed back up. I'm not helping you in your silly war. Meanwhile, here, 19%, 74%, 64%. So how close are we now? How close are we now? We're down to 1.66, so we now have 1.34 to spare. And that's 0.09. That's 0.09. We could theoretically do it with very little penalty at this stage. So, do we want to... well, for one, we're not integrating currently, but this will automatically just core all of this land. Let me check. Let me check on proximity. We are getting some proximity in there, which means we would get some control. It's tempting. It is tempting. 0.09 minor penalty. We still need to keep going though on finishing these off, but you increase control right away on those couple that we're working on, and you would increase control on all the rest. Keep assimilating until you get it inside the cap. But how bad's the penalty? Now it's already down to 0.08. Let's just wait. I don't want the penalties. We are so close. We are so close. Maybe 0.05 or something. I don't know. Afraid to take it. This is Portugal once again. How strong is Portugal? Strong enough not to invade. +7, so whatever France is after, they're getting there. +9. It's occupations. There's only been a single battle. Well, Nizima's freaking tiny. Bassa is occupied by Portugal again, though. Let's see here. I'm trying to think what else to work on. Oh, let's check on that population. No! In Furnace! Where you just lost 1,000 pops. What happened? We were at 28.3. Some sort of emigration. People are leaving. It's not what we wanted. There's a migration attraction. Ugh. Lose 10 research or lose 10 legitimacy. We will pay to keep that research. Man, that is disappointing that we just lost 1,000 pops here. Was it a sickness thing? Did they move out? And they're supposed to be moving in, not out. Not sure, not sure. But we really wanted to hit that 30k. Speaking of hitting 30k, it looks like Belfast has finally done so and is upgraded to a city. It's a city now. Let's try once again and see. Can we? No, we cannot. We cannot build. We can't build a university here, though. Let's go and do that. But we can't build a naval governor. Still dumbfounded why we can't get any naval governors anywhere. Coastal fort. Upgrade to the bastion. Kasama, we know that that's going to be that West African one. We were on the last location. It was like 90-something%. Yeah, it's done. Luanda? Yes. And we will cut off other nations once and for all. Vungo might be an easier... Yeah, they're no match for us. They still have 33,000 levies, though. What was their pop size? It's almost 1 million pops. Annex them. It's an extra million pops for you. That's pretty helpful. The question is, when do we bring an African force down? Do they have friends? They have rivals. They have no friends. They are colonizing. Okay. Strict. The king has a positive trait. Discipline plus 5%. Oh, when was the last time we saw a positive trait? That's beautiful. Alright. North Africa. Nubia is that one. I can start doing some explorations this way. How many active explorations do I have? Did I get a couple? Whoa, those have progressed quickly. 0 active explorations. We finished this one. Yeah, there's your Australia and there's France all over it. So do we want to... we can worry about that later. Worry about that later. Let me figure out what's going on. Cahokia. Well, we know where Cahokia is. So let's prep our army for a Cahokia outbreak. Here. And actually, maybe we could stop like one city from joining. And if we don't stop them, the black flag will only take a second to recover from. That war score is not going so positively anymore, though the battles are starting to go in the way, but the occupations are not picking up the way you want them to. Okay, back to this. I'm going to explore both of these. Just get them both going, even though we will eventually get those off of others. I think the coastal one's a better grab early on. We're going to get Pondo. Another family member. I still don't know if you get a bonus to crown power off of explorers. Another thought also is this and this are not connected. This is all passable terrain. So making our way around or across could be a desirable thing in the not so distant future. Feudal levies. Back the war effort. Nope, we don't need to back the war effort, but feudal levies, we get army morale. We will get heavy cavalry power, non-culture levy size. Yes, please. Thank you. I'll take that. Okay, another new map. No, Genoa does not get help on food. 48% is not bad. We lost our consort, but he's too old to do anything anyway. We only need 3% communal values. Sure. And I'm a little early on that, but wait, capital economy is something I want. I'm gonna just do it for the sake of doing it, so that's something I want. Reduce opinion with who? I think we might be pushing ourselves for an extra. I can get us to almost, that's what, 86? The new marketplace, that's about 100 right there. So we're going to do two things. We're going to pass this thing. We're also going to maybe get ourselves a CB or get the additional taxes or the larger levies. Let me see now. Yeah, 85k levies with current bonuses. That's a lot more than what we had before. Let's figure out what CB to get after. We have options: Norway, Denmark, Saxe-Lauenburg. We have England, And then we have New World type options. So Norway would give us Denmark, Lithuania, and Volgast. Obviously, Lithuania is a little bit strong, but you can deal with the others. That's not bad. France would not want to join. France is at war. France is always at war, and they're almost 200 negative. Their levy availability stinks. They're constant warfare. They're just keep chipping away at their levies over and over again, making themselves weak. Norway is a definite option. Denmark would give us England again, and Norway, and Saxe-Lauenburg, but that's no France, and we can't take England, so definitely not Denmark. But Saxe-Lauenburg, HRE. Now, here it's not showing that it's like the entire HRE, but last time it ended up being the entire HRE. And I don't mind Moldavia, Brunswick, Denmark, Lüneburg. But that feels like that's not going to be all. If we went direct for England, that's more manageable, but there's still 2-1 and like 3-1. So no. No. Norway was the best option. Okay, so right now, Norway is the best option we have unless we were to go somewhere else. And if we were to go after... Let me think which one would be... like USAT. If we were to go after them, you're gonna get the same thing, just your war goal being centered on New World. We don't need to push for Cahokia. Genoa, maybe? Oklahoma. If we went after Oklahoma, we would get Genoa. Venice, Verona. And nobody else going after them once again could be a thing. We can take them, especially when you're not facing the full might. But last time we did have France aiding us. France stayed in the war and it kept all the Italian, well, kept them all off of us really, and just allowed us to focus on the New World, which we stomped. And I don't see anywhere else where we need help with a CB. So it's Norway or no way. And I think we go for Norway. Norway itself is easy, so you can get your war score. Denmark itself is easy, so you can get your war score. And then depending on Lithuania, without the Teutonic Order, you probably can get after Volgast and maybe take 3 more locations and add to the little pocket that we have right there. Chip away a little bit more at Denmark and maybe once and for all finish off Norway. Finally. So let's grab a Norwegian CB. Sorry, that was a long process, but again, you gotta have the right one. You gotta have the right one. So fabricate CB. We will get Norway, and we will go straight for the capital. That's the first one we want to grab. Oslo region. We just lost 50% support. We're down to 21, but reduce opinion. Now we're at 35. Demand for a new marketplace. Ooh, abilities. Not going to be happy for a bit. We're going to have to deal with that. They're down to 38. 47. That's okay. We've got it comfortably. 60% now. Military tactics, 0.25. There's a big one. Oh, see, what did I say? Just gotta be patient. Picked up both of those maps already. Did we get our... Nope, they're still working towards it. Resources are just fine. Tapio's still at just 12. The Masquerade Islands themselves are at 70. They're doing fine. It's only 3 locations too. It's not going to take that long. Mbamba is at 116. So that's our last African one. We're not going to be done in Africa. I think we'll have to keep one in Africa and just work on filling in and not just having coast. But how close is this guy? 2/3 of the way done. This thing's taking forever. We got 3 locations still to go. 4 done. Push towards absolutism. That's the first time we've had a natural push. I have a CB on, right, Norway. I think we are ready for that. We don't need... We don't need France's support. So let's bring home our fleet. Looks like they need a little recovery. Norwegian Patriots. I did not look at rebels. Everything's below 50, but did I just add in Baskerud, Desmond? Desmond is joining again? Jeez, that's another like foursome. So Desmond, oh, 1 location, okay. Buskerud, not too big. We're heading that way to start war with Norway anyway. Small little pocket of Greenland. They're a lot smaller than they were before, but the Tamaroa, that was the one that was about to break out, and it broke out. Broke out big time. So, where is the local capital? Where are you hiding? There it is. So let's go straight for Tamaroa and then on to the capital from there. We're also going to have this one to deal with. That's why I was actively integrating it. That also means we're going to have to refill that cabinet slot. And let me focus back over... Well, shoot. How are these guys doing? How are all of these guys doing? Mobile's at 98%. Let's finish it off. So he's going to deal with the New World stuff. They did pop one down here, Desmond. And there, Desmond. So there's a few little capitals to go pick up. And then we'll have our war with Norway thereafter. It's very much a new feature in the game here of late where you have... Well, we're going to wait till the turn of the month to move. When you have a rebellion trigger off, you can group the rebellions. And so they'll go together. Absenteeism. Gain ducats. We do have... I don't want to lose 7 stab, but actually we're okay. We're above... It'll still be above 30. 200 ducats, though, is not a big deal, but I don't want to lose 10 prestige. So let's go ahead and get you on board. Get you on over here. We'll go to Sunday. because there's their capital. And then, right, Mobile. Let me get the integration. Onondaga is the closest, but that's the one that's split right now, so we don't want to do that one. But this one's close at 80%, so we'll do that. Oh, wow. Portugal, finally. France has actually picked up enough war score to take something. They've only grabbed 3 locations. But Portugal's annulling treaties with Naples. There's war reparations. France won its first war in forever. There we go. Feudal levy obligations. 10% bonus to the non-levy culture size. It also means no war for France, so we've already immediately picked up 100 on that potential join a war thing, but they were way more than 100 off from that one happening, so their levies need to recover a bit. But just like that, we've already got ourselves a little bit of war score. Tamaroa is the main war goal. So yes, we just picked up a capital, but it's not gonna do much for us. Please tell me this is not its... Yes, Buskerud. Okay. Not its own capital. That's Desmond. Is that Desmond's capital, though? It's not. Ooh, hey, vassals. Doing some work? Maybe. Go get that capital for me, please, please. Okay, we already took this. That's the main capital right there. That's the main war goal. As for Desmond, which one is your capital? Where is it hiding? I'm not seeing where Desmond's... I see 3 Desmond locations, but I don't see any of them containing a capital. Not a capital. Not a capital. Not a capital. So, where else is Desmond hiding? Okay, let's let time run out for a second. Desmond, no, it's all Buskerud. Oh, probably here. There. Desmond's capital. So that's the other thing we need to pick up. We need to deal with those 2,000 so they stop growing and expanding. So take this back and then go chase those guys down, and then we've got to get this army over. No way. Why would this join? Why would there be any unhappiness down there? Oh, that's weird. That's very weird. We 100% colonize this, and it's almost all Scott. It's, well, there's some natives in there. Apparently, we've made the natives unhappy. I didn't expect that ever to be part of a rebellion. Okay. France picks up a hegemony, and we are about to land on these guys. So let's bring you in to like Borgund. Bring the navy around. We will take Rauma. There we go, got him. And we've beaten the Buscarud forces with minimal losses. Let's mold a capital. It is. So we'll take it back. We'll take Rauma. Okay, and we got that capital. I do not need to take everything around here. We're at 34% war score. We need the Desmond capital, and we need the capital here, which we are not taking. So that's, I'd say that's our next target, but they're gonna just come and take this thing back. Unless we go deal with their army. Oh, Desmond has 1k. Tamora's not showing up for me. Burgers land rights. I don't think I want to grant that. No, not at all. So they lose 20% satisfaction. Back to this. Board, and we're gonna go okay, more maps. Maps make me happy. Actually, literally, they do make me happy. I taught land navigation when I was in the army. I was a geography teacher. Not a regular course that popped up, but it was one of the courses that I taught. But I did minor in geography when I was in undergrad before getting my master's in education. There we go. Desmond's forces. We're still one capital short. Same capital it's been every time, too. Okay, we can reset for war with Norway. Norway itself, though, is an easy get. Denmark's the harder one. I think I might want to start with Denmark. Peace out Denmark earlier anyway, and then go back and get your war goal, get Norway, and then just see how things are with Volgast, if we can get after them a little bit. So that means we need to come into Ribe. I should have plenty of time on my CV, right? Yeah, almost 4 years. Okay, we do have some colonies that have jumped in. Otseningo? That is, okay. These guys are almost done integrating, and some of it's coming out cord. Okay, let's go get that siege we need. It's at 63%. We've just about got this thing done. But we can't take that one back until we hold the capital. Good news here is it wasn't an everybody war. It was a some people war. So it's a sign of the growing like flip on culture and just making the groups happy and whatnot. There we go. Still have a plus 20 on a 58. I think we can grab a good amount of ducats as well. Actually, a very good amount of ducats. And we still have that one state. Okay, good. Another integration done. Glad to see a few of those kind of pop off quickly. Onondaga is still part of the war, so we don't want to do that one. Chalahum, not sure where that is. Down here. It's like one location. At 60%, 20k pops. It's not going to make much difference to integrate that. But we're still actively in war. Upland. Actually, none of that is part of the rebellion, so let's go ahead and integrate Upland. Especially as we're going to do the flip here soon. Okay, you've already made it where I want you. We cannot... Actually, I have no levies called up. I could start the war. But let's wait to end this thing. Speaking of end this thing, we are still waiting on the arrival. But at least there's additional ducats to be had by getting a little more war score. Okay, picked up quite a few maps here in the last little bit, so kind of checking back in. We still have just this pocket here. I think we got a little bit more of Upper Canada there. We have very much gotten more of Upper Egypt and the Middle East. Glory Road. Promising land, small progress, gain 3 ducats, advanced research, increase area control. That's a good one. We can now assimilate more than one region at once. So if anything, we want to pull you off of increase control and go to increase area control, which has a 5% higher bonus, but monthly control is a little bit slower on the game. But now you do the whole region, and now we're getting extra control throughout the area, which is going to make us more moolah, more ducats. Oh, I do still have some coffee. Hooray. Johannes, hey, welcome. Best week on YouTube in a long time. Still at work. Okay. We'll check in with you later. Glad you're happy with the product here. Just try to make my way through this campaign here. We're down to about 150 years finally. Easter Equatorial region. Easter Island area, that is. Upland, by the way, is at 30%, but the assimilation of Venezuela's already at 55. Agder's up to 66. This is dragging on, though. Can we... No, I have no cannons here. I still have no cannons. I need to get cannons into the New World, which I have no way to get cannons right now because we have no method. Oh, it's like 10. We have no 10. Now, let me see if we have an RGO for 10 around anything that we have out here. And how do you make cannon in the US? There's plenty of cannon. Plenty. I am not eyeing any of it. I know I have 10 back here. Let me see what it looks like. At least I thought I had 10 here. There's 10. It's gray, little green and yellowish icon. So that gives me at least something to find visibly. That's wild. I'm not seeing any tin. Prestigious family needs aid. Make the nobility happy. Okay. I've got 13,000 ducats. It's coming up fast. Tin. Come on. Where are you hiding, tin? Wow, I am not seeing any tin out here in the New World. How in the world would you make any cannon whatsoever? There's tin. There's more tin. That's Castile. It's all Castile. So it's not Tamtok, which I thought it might be. Hey, there's our siege done. Okay, 86% war score. Get that last town in. Is it mine? No, it's not. It's New York. Fix that. Scotland. There we go. Okay. Make sure everything's got that right tint of green. Going back to us and not to a vassal or a colony. And yes, everything appears to have the right color. And now we still have a plus 20. So turn that into 492 ducats, which was the max they could spare. Sweet. All right, we are good. Third major civil war done. Now that civil war took a little bit of time. So in the meantime, Gayagono is once again upset. They're at 64%. That's like right in here. We want to travel a little bit south, get out of their window. So perhaps go we could canonize somebody. I forget what's the benefit for that. We're going to gain, depends on the one, but you're going to get what? Let's oh, here we go. Here's where the benefit is. Legitimacy, prestige. Outside of 10 prestige, there's not really any much to pick up at the moment. I think we want to spend some legitimacy and then go for that. We'll hang on to it for a little bit. But war with Norway now seems distinct possibility. France still does not want to participate, but how close is it? Just minus 17. Now, I don't need them to join the war, and we can only collect so much antagonism in Europe. The Americas, Africa's a little bit different. Well, Africa's not that much different. The Americas is definitely different. You can take the antagonism, not worried about a coalition, especially when it's almost all just us, England, Genoa, in the region, Castile further off, France further off, and then you get into your Central American, your Mexican territories. But minus 17. Levy availability is only minus 9. So actually this is now border distance, target opinion being too much of an offset. Therefore, they're not going to join the war, period. Anyway, and I don't think I need them. It's fine. It's just that Lithuania does have a bit of a fleet. It could give me a little bit of trouble here. We've got Denmark under control. I think we can get enough. No, we do not have enough levies in Norway to deal with Norway. Norway's 12,000 will be able. They will be stronger than my levies. Maybe not. We have a lot more. 110k is crazy compared to what we had not so long ago. Like 60k was our max. Alrighty, let's do this thing, huh? Again, we're going to start on Denmark. Denmark does have a little bit of a force. I am going to call up my levies, 94,000 of them. Just go ahead and raise all, even though that does include New World, and I don't need those guys, but... Now, we've got to be careful about Lithuania. It could take time. We might end up having to be patient if their navy is going around, try to white piece them and then finish off and then get it to Norway and Volgast after the fact. But it looks like we could go mess with Norway's fleet here. There we go. We've already taken one ship off of Denmark, captured it. Okay, Scotland. We just won another fight, captured 2 more ships. Excellent. These 7,000 are going to join our main force, which 100%, they weren't paying for their fort. Alrighty then, it's June. You can march straight on down to Stavanger. I don't want you to go that way though. I want you to go this way. Towards Voss. Towards Stavanger. There you go. And meanwhile, we are going to come to Sunderland. Kind of want to wait for some support. And the Navy's busy trying to get control of the seas at the moment. Let me see our immediate impact on our enemies, because Lithuania is strong and has a navy, can be a factor. Norway's got 5 ships, Denmark's got 13. Let me try to There's Lithuania's fleet. That's only 3 heavies and 13 transports, so that's one you can deal with. Let me... I need to add more forces in Denmark and in Norway. Let me go grab... our first 20k or so. Another win, but that one didn't involve any loss of ships or anything. And there you go. There's already the first castle taken for Denmark. Well, hello, 25 galleys of Lithuania. I can 100% beat that with my 60. That makes me happy. Okay, that's all levies. That's all regulars. I feel like I might be able to take them, but I also don't want to just take substantial losses. I think I'd rather have my regulars who are done with Denmark coming to help with that one. Okay, we found a fleet. We found a fleet, and it's their heavies. We found Lithuania's heavies. "21 war galleons. That's the entire fleet. The entire fleet is 21 war galleons. I've lost 5 ships already. I have 23. But only 12 or 13 of those are war galleons, while about 10 are just regular galleons. We're losing. They've had 8, 9 retreat though, so we are actually starting to get into a better position here, and we have more ships than they have. They've had 1 ship come into support. Oh man, not what I expected here. They've captured 2 of my ships, by the way. Oh. They still ended up capturing 2 ships, and I lost 5 ships, and they lost 0 ships, and I won the battle. Johannes starting the stream over. Caught the sneeze right from the beginning. The galleys we can beat. That's the galleys I was headed for. Mascarene Islands. That was fast. Okay. We'll come back to that. So we just colonized here. I don't know if we have Incognita. Al-Qadra is already occupied. Okay, too small. Madagascar is already fully colonized. Nothing to colonize in this direction at the moment, which means we work on the colonies through here. I think I want to connect these guys up first. So we will colonize this way. And then, yeah, there's there's some of our troops. Here's some of our troops. They're all trying to just gather. They're all moving about on their own. Okay, so we already hold 2 spots. We're on minus 57 here. There is a land bridge there, but we hold the fort, so that's already given us a leg up on that. Hello, 3,500. A force that I feel like we can beat, but how close is that other force? There it is, up there. I think I can beat them before those guys ever arrive, and they're already lower on morale. So we are going to... Really? Here we go again. I just beat a force of just galleys, and I lost 5 more ships. Now, we are already taking some damage, but I just lost 3 heavies to a 0 heavy fleet out in the open ocean. Lithuania. It's all Lithuania. We are not strong enough on our navy. We very much need to invest more into it, for sure. This group's going to have to take Denmark on their own, and this group is in need of a commander. Do I want the Crown Prince for that one? No, we want a navy focus. Discipline, that's a ruler trait. Take the awesome 16-year-old commander. Get the morale up. There you go. Meanwhile, these 1,500 are on the move. I'm going to move them not to Stavanger now. We're going to come around Feckelford and on to Sondelad to join the main fleet, main force. Okay, where's my fleet hiding? Did they retreat somewhere? They were supposed to be going to Edinburgh in the first place. Nine galleons can upgrade to war galleons now. Let's do it. They're gonna have to stay put for a while. That's gonna give me that full war galleon fleet. We just lost a family member here. Sir Patrick is the next one in line to take over the role. Ooh, that was fast. Stack wipe. Took them out. And captured some of them too. Excellent. We just took out the entire Norway regulars. And all they have left is one regular in there, which means we're at a slight disadvantage. When you add in the 1,500, we might be able to take them, especially if it's defensive. So in the meantime, I want to maybe retake this so we can see what's going on in our own lands. We can detach a siege and push forward. See if we can get across, finish off Denmark here. I'm not worried about my rear. There's nobody to come at us unless it's Lithuania, in which case we have a problem anyway. First fleet, not visible, but they are here. Do we want to beat up? That's 3 heavies from Volgast. But what is our... No, all those 1%, we definitely don't want to send them out. Wait at least a month, see if they're still there. Okay, that's the 3 new islands. Okay, now it's 4. What's the new one? Is not... It's a light ship, so 3 heavies and 1 light. I do not want to take my damaged ships with me. No, there's only about 3 healthy war galleons. So no, we do not want to fight right now. Okay, you've already reclaimed this. Reclaim that one. Okay, we took Odense, and now there's 22,000, including regulars. And they're marching for my 2K. They've just snuck around my backside. And now I'm not at full strength. Do we have enough to peace out Denmark? I don't think it's been a year, so I don't think I can peace out Denmark early before I take on losses. And I was going to bring a 10K more to this fight. No, it's on minus 28. We have a 25% war score, but it's too early. They don't want out yet, for one thing. So, do we force the issue and force a fight? I don't think we're going to gain anything here. It's all zeros. But they're going to stack wipe my 2K. Instant stack wipe. That is Mercs, though. It's Mercs we left behind. But we're not going to catch them. They'll stack wipe, but like it's instant. It's more than 10 to 1. There's Lithuania's galleys. Ooh, Volgast is coming in with 19K as well. Shoot. Retreat back to Thistad. Hopefully they'll stop at the castles, though we do not have one in Silkeborg anymore. So we gave up in that war that we almost had. Go stand on their capital. But you're not ready for... You can't even get out of our own port at the moment. Okay. Right now might be the best scenario that I have. Or at least in a few seconds with Assens. But I don't think... No, 1680... What? Truce, 1688. No, 1684... May 20... We gotta get all the way to May 22nd to separate peace. Now, they very much want that separate peace right now. Snuck around, they got me from the rear. Our 2K is gone. That hurts the war score a little bit too. I can't take 40K with just 16. Oh, we have some clear air. How much more? You still have most of your transports, 26,000. We can get you all the way down to, well, Ribe's going to be the best location to get to. Rogaland again. about the 4th or 5th time that they've had that food modifier from the Little Ice Age, which still has like 30 years to go before the Little Ice Age is going to come to an end. Sweet, we made it. Now that's all levies, and they're a mixture of regulars and levies, the lot of them, but we're gonna go to like Vordenborg. I don't want to siege here when they've got 40k right there, but this gives me a little over 40k. You take Denmark out in May, and that becomes half of that. Then you could beat Volgas forces 40k versus 20k. Meanwhile, we want to take you home. Can we, though? 6 heavies. Talon is Denmark's vassal. Go for Newcastle first. Okay, we just found Talon's galleys. It was 7. That was a weird one. It's like, wait, what? How did that happen? There's their 10,000 taking big ol' attrition right now. So I think this group can actually take Norway, as long as they don't start taking heavy attrition. But Oslo's a better place to be for that. Lithuania is still the great equalizer because they have no forces in the region yet, and they are the numerical advantage. Okay, so we have Vordenborg. Let's go stand here on the next one, just keeping an eye on those two. In the meantime, just trying to grab a little bit of war score because I'm not sure this is going to be done by May. It's on a minus 64. It's probably a bastion. I'm going to give you a commander just for the sake of it. Why is that at 100%? I'm paying for it. 0 defenders. What, because they weren't paying for it? I don't get to put a garrison in there? I've held it for like 7 months. Okay, they have disappeared, so let's get back to our capital to get fully recovered. We need to build the fleet once again. What is my breakdown? Just 17 heavies. So we lost 6 heavies and whatever galleys we had left, which was about 5 of them, like 4 transports. We can build more war galleys than before. Or, sorry, more galleons than before. So there's 6. We'll do 8. There's 2,000 popping across. You want to come land? You're already taking attrition. I like that. Okay, so they've taken this back. War score is officially right at 0 right now. I have very little attrition. They're taking definitely heavier attrition. We're still at minus 49. We've got to get that, though. That's the war goal. Okay, we got the Roskilde, and yes, they are sacrificing 2k for absolutely nothing. Thank you very much. Oh, here comes 2k more. This is the France problem. Take 2,000 at a time and just walk into a trap after a trap after a trap. May is just 2 months off. Vardel has fallen, but there's their force. So they've got another, maybe a mercenary group. 372, it's very small, okay. Okay, we've got Ringstead. There's one location left here. 20k on the move. Coming around the backside makes it easy enough to step in and support Denmark coming to do their best to save themselves. 10 free prestige. Volgast isn't even coming to join them. But I don't want to fight Denmark. I want to peace out Denmark in May. Okay, cultural influence, I guess. We have officially cut off the shoreline, though. Let's get back to what we have going. Six heavies. Got a lot more than that. I've got 8 on the way. Those guys are at 79. One more month tick will put them at, what is that, 95, I think? In which case they could take those 7. Ah, they are following. Okay, well, let's go get in there. Make sure we do not have a local penalty, as we would be seen as the attacker. Flatland. Nope, it's all zeros. All zeros. So now I have 41,000 to take 20,000 who are already low on morale, and then they're marching late, so they would arrive late, and they would also be on low morale, marching all the way from Colding in both cases. Okay, so now they're staying away from me. They've recovered morale, but May is right around the corner. So they're preparing to attack together, I'm guessing. Where I'm preparing to just get Denmark out of the war. But it was not May 1st. Let another month tick by. Right now it's not making any difference on the war score. And we don't have much of a war score against Denmark. Oh, 66%. Okay, that's a lot better than I expected that war score to be. I mean, we're sitting on the capital, sure, but we don't hold Ostland at all. So, Lubeck. Can't take Estonia. Talon's over there. That's why we can't take that. Could take Lubeck. But that's going to have more antagonism. Can't take Zealand. So do we want to cut them into... Probably not. They're going to be mad if I try to cut them in two. So I think our best bet is taking Ostland. And that already is 47 antagonism. Piled on quick. That's Denmark antagonism. And Norway. And nobody else is picking up much. So let's check about Funen. Ooh, that's all still Funen down there too, so we might be... I'm okay with Norway-Denmark coalition. It's about others. Our others going to join. Sweden would be at a 41, and we're about to pull land off of Norway. So no, that's too much. I think we just take Ostjylland. We take Ostjylland, and then we grab war reparations. Ooh, what would vassalization be like? Not yet. Humiliate. Talon? No. 697 ducats. Oh, I like that. Okay, yeah, that'll work. That gets Denmark out. Now, that gets us the rest of a state that we own part of. Limited antagonism. There you go. There's your separate piece for Denmark. And suddenly, we can't fight here. We're black flagged. So is Volgast. So is Volgast. So, theoretically, we could not march back that way. What the heck? No. March this way. Why can't you march this way? Ooh. It's cut off. It's cut off because of these ships. So you're going to stay put for a second. Just march to here. Talon's out too. Did we get our 1 month? Yes, but we're also a few days away from another turn of the month, so I'm going to wait for that. We can't fight those Volgast forces right now anyway. So we're going to try to be sneaky. We're going to take the 4K, which is a small group, fine, whatever. But I don't want to do overseas. I just want to stop those 3 ships. So we're going to come into Aarhus, take those 3 ships, clear the path, which we might be seeing a force move right past us here soon. Norway marched on us and lost. We only lost 2K. Actually, it was more like 2,500. And we just took out the Norwegian force. Norway suddenly has 800 regulars, which is either cavalry or a couple auxiliary units, meaning not enough to do anything. Lithuania, do you want a white peace? No. Way too early for that. So we're already at 14%. They have almost nothing left, so we're going to split in half. Keep the siege going. This is the group without the commander. Crown Prince. No. I don't. If you want to push naval, your commanders need to have naval bonuses. So we do not want them to be in charge. Put this 23-year-old in charge and go take out those 479, wipe them out once and for all. Norway have lost, and I'm assuming that's the 3 here it is. Excellent. Now these guys can march back, get unblack flagged. Can they march to Volgast? Volgast marched to us, and they can. Well, right now we're black flagged, so we assume we can. That might not be the case. We'll find out when we hit Colding whether we can keep marching. There we go. There's the other force. This is starting to go really well. Alright. Let's go take back Ringerike. Those are captives. Let's not mess with them right now. Here's Lithuania's fleets for the most part, by the way. 20 heavies. That's the one that beat up on us a little bit. We have the 8 replacements on the way, which would finally make us stronger than them, but... Okay. Yes, we can march right on through. We want you to march right on through, too. But if Volgas can march through, I'm guessing Lithuania can. So we might not be at it long with Volgas, but if we can get even just a small war score against them. Why did you guys stop? Oh, Denmark. That's Denmark right there. They were trying to march through it, and now they can't. Now that they pieced out of the war. The only reason we could before. Are you telling me Volgast only has 500 left? Alright, one of these forces is smaller. So we're going to uncheck the larger one and merge those levies into the smaller force. And we're going to stay put with the fleet. I do not want them engaging as long as Lithuania is in this thing. Okay, we've already taken that back. Go take this back now. I thought this was a castle. Are they not paying for their castle? It is a castle. And we'll go stand on 2, but I need to know what am I dealing with Volgast. 20k. They have 20k. The 20k we saw, which have not made their way back. As far as I know, they're still standing in Denmark. We saw 300 marching back. Oh, nope, there they are, 13,000. Okay, go join them. We'll get you 2 to full strength. 18,000. This is another one of those, I won't fight if I don't need to. If my 37,000 is enough to deter them, we stay out of it. We siege down their capital, and we separate peace them. Meanwhile, we're moving to the next phase of trying to 100% Norway, which it might be valuable to vassalize Norway. Two more maps. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa! They came after us. Big force, mostly stack wiped. Not that big of a force. That's 15,000. But Volgas didn't join. So we just beat up Lithuania's forces. They might, after that, be more interested in getting out of the war. Not the case. Oslo. We're going to have full control of the capital here in a second. And that war score is going to flip in our favor. We're going to go take out those 247 and then get to... Can't get to Hornburg. More captives. I'll go stand down here in like Sunderland where it's not as bad. The weather, that is. Why am I down to 2 times? There we go. Before we get much further, take a pause. Inverness, 27,000. What happened? What happened? So they're 18k, do not want to mess with us. Lithuania did, but Lithuania just walked right into a trap and lost a good size of their forces, but they'll be back. They'll be back with a larger force, so I really don't want to stay around here for very long. I want to peace out Volgast. So speaking of, what could that look like right now? There's a +2. And 30 ducats. We could get Volgast out right now and then just focus on Norway, and we don't have to bother with Lithuania anymore. These troops can retreat back to our lands. Never mind the little territory we're taking off of Volgast. As for the antagonism, though, Volgast would be quite upset. Brandenburg would be quite upset. Naugard. That's coalition territory. That is coalition territory with Brandenburg, so maybe we don't take it all at once. What would that one look like? Brandenburg 47. Volgast would be 61, but I think they'd get over it in time. I'm going to do that. 2 locations for now. Gives me, what, 5 here? It's definitely starting to become a foothold the way this has grown from a foothold. The way that this has grown from a foothold. Yeah, we're going to do that. Let's just get this thing done and over with. Taking more is just about ducats or war reparations, and we don't need to sacrifice our troop strength over that. So you guys can come on back. Send one to Thisted, one to Viborg. And now we have a 15% war score. Ticking upward, yes, the attacker ticking just started. Now, without Volgast, is Lithuania any closer to saying, see you later? No. We could risk a troop transport over to Hornburg. Well, let me see what we're like in this area. That's Lithuania. Norway vassalization would be 41, which is only a -10 right now. That might be the best way, because in terms of antagonism, right? What do we do with that one? Norway hates us. Well, they become our vassal, and they would dislike us for a long time, but they would actually end up getting over things a lot faster as a vassal. And then Brandenburg would jump to a 60. Algard, Denmark. Sweden would be a 47. If I let a little bit of time tick by, which we need to get to the war score necessary anyway, I think that's probably our best method. Otherwise, we're just chipping away again. We're getting like a single state in Oslo. I think if we let the antagonism go by for another 5 months, 6 months before we get a peace deal, that might be enough to knock down some of that. Okay, let's go chase those guys down. If we can chip away a little bit at Lithuania, we might be able to white peace them and get that deal done more safely. There we go, captured ship. Do not keep chasing. No, do not keep chasing. These guys can walk down there and deal with them. Wow, look at all that attrition we took. We were at 37,000. We came back with just under 30. There's the 20 heavies. I don't think we need to be going all the way home. Maybe we just go back to Viborg for now. All right, we're going to let some time tick by on that. Like I said, we're no longer in a rush to get the war score. We want to be able to white peace Lithuania at some stage, potentially, or we just wait it out. But either way, Norway, we need that war score to tick up a little bit more to get the full vassalization. And then at the same time, we need a bit of antagonism decay before we end up facing a coalition. Ooh, our 8 ships are ready. Our heavies. Norway have 1. Sure you have. We're going to take this, hold it, and then we're going to take this and hold it. That'll cut them off except for by sea. So they can't try something like that again while we're trying to be patient here. Bitterly cold in the capital. Uh-oh. Lose 2 tanneries. lose 5 prosperity, lose 700 ducats, or we're going to get a big prosperity minus 15. Yeah, okay. Send aid. It's definitely not one you want hitting in your capital. Alright, it's been a few months. Are we any closer to a white peace? No. Cabinet member. And a coming of age at the same time. Natural replacement. In fact, there's your natural replacement. He's 16. He's solid. Gifted. Nice. Now is a good time to check once again on this guy, where we now have 1.33. Oh, we're down to 1.37. Let's do it. Let's tolerate the Norwegian culture and accept the Norwegian culture. And we're 3.05. We're 0.05 over our efficiency. Cultural tradition, we have a 1% hit on tradition and influence, and efficiency of cabinet 0.5% hit. Right, could be worse, could absolutely be worse, but that's why we waited and waited and waited. And in November 1st we're gonna have a whole bunch of cord land right through here. All that yellow is gonna become green. Whoa! Hello, Lithuania! Hold that thought. Hold that thought. Plus 13. We can make this thing happen right freaking now. The antagonism piece. Never mind Norway. They become our vassal. Denmark, 53. Brandenburg, 58. I think we're okay. Sweden's 46. Grab the ducats, 218. Even though we're taking that off of Norway, not off Lithuania. But holy crap, Lithuania must have just marched all the way through Novgorod and Sweden to hit us from the rear with a stack of 30k. That must have been a much larger stack than 30k, by the way. Lithuania, we are perfectly balanced. Yeah, look at that. Look at the losses they've taken. That was, what was that? It was close to 200k at the start of this thing. We've beaten one small army, and this army must have taken a ton of attrition. Come the long way around. I'm so glad I saw that. Holy crap, because that would have been disastrous. Norway, vassal, and once and for all, Norway is beaten. Okay, now we have a Brandenburg, and what was it? Who's the other one that's bad? So Norway takes on a new color as our vassal. There's our regulars. Let's go ahead and get them picked up, brought home. We need to improve opinion with Brandenburg. Right, over cultural capacity limit. We were going to absorb Mayo and Thomond, but they weren't happy with us before. They are now, so let's wait until we have 2 Diplos, and then we're gonna There we go. Coalition disbanded. Yeah, Norway hates us. We'll fix that later. Trying to stop the coalition first. Parliament. Integration process might be helpful right now, though. Land trade routes. Trade income. Noble land trade monopoly for 10 years. That actually looks pretty dang good. Let's take it. There's all those cores on November 1st. Awesome. $7 million pops now. So, quick summary. We took one state off of Denmark and war reparations. We took 2 locations off of Volgast and some ducats. And we vassalized Norway and took some ducats. Ooh, I like army tradition, but we need to pass this and I don't want to throw any investments in it. Hey, hey. Mouse goes haywire for a second. This was all Norway, by the way. All of that was Norway. This was Norway. This was Norway. And this was all taken off of Norway. So we got quite a bit out of Norway. And that's been a long, long process to fully take all of Norway. And in this case, finishing it off with a little vassalization with what little they have left in existence. We need to, I think we still have a few levies? No. Yes. Why am I still not able to capture groups? We want to release. This is Norway. This is now our vassal. I can't seem to get them to behave correctly. Okay, Gano's at 85% by the way, so that still hasn't triggered. None of the others are Civil War types, but they might want to join in. That's been the norm lately. But this is not growing the way it used to. It's doing a lot better than it was. I guess we'll just keep them on board. What can we do here? Scorch Earth. Ransom. There we go. Now they're gone. Oh, you're all levies too. Why? Expand. Go home. There. Funny thing is, this is Scotland. Here's your northern half of, well, not a peninsula, but northern half of Ireland. Here's your northern half of peninsula. We are following a trend. Now, let me check on these guys. We are, well, for one, we just cored all of this. So that's done. Now we very much want to rush through integration there, as it will all core. And same here for that matter. So all of that would be cored. 10 prestige. We could lose a little support. I guess we could afford 7 stab. Last time we did that, we were at 38. Now we're at 48, so situation improving. Not that I need 200 ducats. But it's that or lose 10 prestige. Bye-bye prestige. I don't need the prestige right now. Already down to 0.04. We need to get that back to neutral. Once it's neutral, we can move on to a new assimilation project. And that frees up 3 of our 5. Still encouraging naval. We're at minus 28. And integrating Upland at 60. And we might try to rush to do some more integration. There we go, that passed. Trade bonus for a good while here. 20,000 pops. Ooh, I am at my 2-hour mark here, by the way. Inverness back to 28,400 again. Please don't lose it all again this time. And I bet you what that was calling up the levies. And the levies have gone home. We've returned to almost the level we were at. That's what took away 1,000 pops. We called up 1,000 levies in Inverness. Molly, of course. Did your truce ever expire? No. It's continual warfare with Molly. So, with Norway out of the way, what becomes your next target? Slightly stronger than Sweden? That's a lot of regulars. But if we get back to that 90-something, 95,000 levies, you got a 35k advantage there. But we definitely would need more regulars, and we would not want regulars way back in the US. However, we've now doubled their population, and we've just exceeded their economy. They were so far ahead of us. They're way ahead on Navy, but if you bring most of your forces into Norway, especially all your regulars in the first place, you'll have that healthy advantage. However, it's getting the rest of them over there against the run of grain with a strong Navy in Sweden. So no, we don't want Sweden right now. We don't want the entire HRE in Saxe-Lauenburg. Denmark still then becomes your regular target, but oh wait, there's England. So do we instead change that focus into a Volgast or Teutonic order? That might be your next direction. But there's your Lithuania ties still. And does that come with the HRE? Not sure. Teutons, Brandenburg, Mainz. That looks like a pretty dang good option right there. You open up that. I think that becomes your next one. But is the Teutonic Order part of the HRE? No. They are not. Yeah. They do not appear to be in the HRE. I don't see anything that links them to the HRE. Okay. Well, that's good to know. So, Teutonic Order. That's your next European target. So we've grown to 40k manpower, gaining 311. We can absolutely afford a larger standing army right now. But we'd like to take care of a few other things in the meantime. And we were going to do stuff regarding trade earlier, 2 hours ago, and did not get to it. So let's get that done. I wanted things related specifically to trade. Market attraction, trade capacity. Okay, Customs house is definitely a good one. Overseas trading posts. Oof. This is your expand into other markets. Don't we have some of these already? Yes, we do have some of these already. So we're just going to sprinkle these in. Let's see. I think this will help with control of the market we're in. Alright, that's enough of those. And then what else? What else is the trade related ones? Trade office. Mass build. Still have 14K left. That was 161 new trade offices getting constructed. Let me get some other good things like cultural tradition. We're gonna mass build some theaters. That was a 3,000. Cahokia joins coalition. Okay, coalition begins. But Cahokia as its source is an easy one. Customs house. Market attraction, trade capacity. It's an expensive one. That's just in the capital. Okay. Can we yet get the local governor just in Berwick? Because we have not gotten the city yet. Got our 28,000. 28,500 and counting. It's close. 1,500 to go. But again, we turned Belfast into a city. Did not get the naval governor option. So let me start from here. Is there anything? Embassies, diplo capacity, fog of wars, all those are good for. Everything else is already constructed that we can. Universities, hospitals, temples. Anywhere we can build a temple, let's build a temple. And then we need to get into some regular money makers. Let's get some RGOs. Silver. We have silver. Kongsberg. I think that's a new addition. We're going to build 5, 10. Could only do one there, but we got it. Fiber crops. 10 of those. 5 for salt. 5 for lead. beeswax, get 5. Horses, we'll grab 5. And let's see, reformation of the army. We want to go either offensive or quality. Let's go quality. Still have 7.5k ducats. So money's less and less of an issue. The economy is growing. We're up to the 380 ducats. We can afford that larger army. Right now, it's more about just not wanting to suddenly have less income, right? The income right now is allowing us to really, really grow and expand the economy rapidly, which is why our rank is rising. We're up to 33rd, it's highest it's been. The institutions is helpful, but we're doing that without the army size, without the navy size. We have more ships to upgrade. Okay, let's take care of that. 1 galleon to a war galleon. That was a captured ship, I'm sure. And then overall they're at what, 26 heavies. That's more than we had, and instead of half galleon, half war galleon, they're all war galleon with 3 more than what we had. We did lose like 4 transports, but we still carry 27,000. Let's get the transports back. I'll take 5 transports. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That'll take care of 1 stage of that. We obviously need galleys. We're also going to need to send them back out for maritime presence. But I think we might be back into a stage of just having a separate fleet that's going to take care of that particular task. I do have my diplomats. Let's go ahead and start our annexation for these two. They're doing nothing these days. So let's go ahead and... Oh. The war. The war. The not real war, but war. Let's see here. 7 million pops. That's awesome. That is awesome. Cahokia is the only one that's actually doing anything about the whole antagonism thing. And speaking of, Cahokia is one that we could probably finally go finish off. We were going to vassalize them. Alright, we've had a lot of new maps. Let's check in on that one. For one thing, here is an option. Let's explore. Flaming Gorge. It's fine, we've done stuff out of here before. Liquor is a problem. And naval supplies. One could get held up. But most of South America is now explored. Coastline for Africa is almost entirely explored. Somalia is looking pretty big. We're only slightly stronger than them. We've gotten some more of this Australian kind of coastland, but again, we keep seeing France all over the place in there. Not sure what else is left to colonize other than inland here. We're at 75% on this one. All it's about now, though, is getting us back below the culture threshold, which is down to 0.03. So again, we'll change those 5 up to something new afterward. What I want to do afterward, though, that's another question. This is all just a matter of integration to core. This is not, so maybe that's where we want to go next. Or, as we just finished colony, or we get into back into Iceland, working on that. We got the first handful of locations done there, and yeah, maybe we work on the next state. As we move more towards naval, we are getting closer and closer, I think, to actually getting, because we are getting here. It's only 21%, but the jump from here to there, and especially once Inverness is carrying its proximity score. Right now it's only at 49. Push it up to an 80, and it's going to push that proximity that little bit further out, push a couple more tiles. And same for Norway. But let's go find Komani. It's very much showing desert, so I'm guessing it's one of my 2 African colonies. Bondelswartz. That's a name. Does not appear to be the one up here. Might be down here. And there it is. Yeah, Bondelswartz. Okay, we wanted to make the connection to the north, so that's next. Tucenti, tennis guy, hey, welcome. And we might get back to Swing Dynasty. Just the only problem I was having with that was the prestige mechanic being broken. It's an enjoyable game, but the prestige mechanic being broken is like, what am I supposed to do? Win every year, win every year, win every year, and make no progress? If there's no path for progress, not sure what to do, how to finish. It's a good game, but it's a young game that's a work in progress. Oh boy, here we go. Rebels are back. It's gonna give us, did anybody trigger with them? Yes, they are joined. Oh, but just the 2 locations. We already integrated some of that, and it's still joining. But there's our local force. They'll deal with it soon enough. In fact, we can deal with that one first. It's nice to at least see that the colonial nations are somewhat participating these days. Just too bad that they don't want to participate when it's England. Great Basin. Oh, there's a nice map addition. West Coast. Okay, we'll take them out and then continue on. Oh, there's still a capital up there, Oswego. there's Somalia also. Yeah, those maps are popping in fast now. I thought that was Great Basin right there. Or is that my exploration starting? Yes, it is. The icon's gone. White peace with Mali again. France never learns. Never ever learns. They've been a good ally in that they've kept England from attacking us, but that's all they've been good for. Antagonism received -10. I was wrapping this episode up, and here I am. Keep it on, keep it on. It's your last sea tile in this way, the Red Sea. Southeast Asian coast. Yeah, we're starting to pick up all the way out here too. Starting to get some of that Australian land, but yeah, it's all French. So, French Australia. Ooh. There's the possibility to colonize Australia. What about Hawaii? Did Hawaii ever get colonized? Well, I guess you would have to conquer it. Isn't there a... oh, it's still incognita. We don't have that map yet. There we go. Vassal took care of that. Or colony took care of that. Okay. Bougainville. Thom and Mayo. And we're still at war. French war is done. As soon as this siege is done, we'll finish this war. And then we can begin annexing those two. Definitely need to do that because we're halfway from the last age where they're all just going to end up rebelling. It's very much time to annex as many of those as possible. There it is. Okay, we occupy all of it. Or Akers. Norway rebelled. Didn't see that one. Okay, so Norway rebelled. Oslo, the obvious target, but we got to sit through the siege as they're calling up mercenaries, and it's going to waste our time. Come on, fleet, you're not coming from very far away. You took the long way. They went down instead of up. There we go. So, how's our assault looking? Oh, that's a tier 4 1K. Guessing that's not looking good. Ah, oh, damn it. While we're waiting on the unknown additional enemy, France calls us into the next war, so we still can't annex these guys. I want to get the annexation done, and if I end the episode right now and walk away, that's going to be an issue because I'm going to forget it next time. I will not be able to do it. I have to concentrate. I have to get through it. I have to get it done. 3 more maps. Nice. So, taking a look at the economy, I have not looked at this in a good while. For one, we can turn this up a little bit. Give that green. There you go. The lairds, nobility we can tax just a little bit. And we've got a little room for taxation on these guys. Clans won't get us anywhere, so we'll just keep that. Selling food versus buying food. There's some areas that we're paying for, but it's fine. It's positive. Balance stability is fine. We're looking good on that one. Let me turn it back up even more. Just a small amount anyway. Give me like a 0.25 gain for now. And then cost of colonies is maxed out. We can pay a little bit more on the culture investment. Throw 10 more ducats at that. Foreign trade competition, impose a new tariff. Yeah, mercantilism, we'll take that. Lilyhammer is cored. We're still paying for fort maintenance, but I'm fine keeping it up now. Cost of court's the one that we have turned down a little bit. Anytime we take a legitimacy hit, but there's a plus 354, so balance is good. Balance is very good. The war with Mindy is done already. Okay. I'm still at minus 42. I could use more cannons. I think that's the first thing. Expansion, cannons. Take care of that. And these sieges go faster. We're down to 0.01. Barely a penalty. Barely. Oh, that was going to be plus 10 prestige that I just wasted. Try to hurry through things, but hurrying through things is not hurrying through the one thing that I need to hurry through. Stalin. Oh, integration. Okay, this is the integration here, coming to an end. Yeah. Second location there. They're kind of popping in one at a time, but we didn't take the whole state one at a time. Let's go capture your little ships here, huh? Yeah, we captured one. Take that, I guess. Oh, hey, hold on. Stay here. Help with the siege. Speed up again, please. There we go. Well, apparently we kept Brandenburg out. Cahokia is down to 73 antagonism. Sure. Yeah, we'll keep them happy. Local witch hunts. Oh man. Nationwide states are happy. Pop conversion speed. Heretical beliefs and spiritualists. No, don't want that. Papal states. I think this is what I end up taking. One location loses control. And I don't think I have control there anyway. Yeah, it's in Sofala. We don't have control down there, so we'll take that. Pope permits the trials. We can gain influence. And the Papal States like us for a change. Which... how close are we? Empire. Overall pops 3/4 of the way there. We do have... we are almost there. We are almost there. We want Papal States to like us. And we need 20 prestige. Apparently there's a papal ban on empires. So we can never become one. We also need to be a great power. But how do you become a great power if you're not an empire? Like, you have to have that modifier to become a great power. World rankings for now. Let's check in on that. It's been a while since we've looked. Seems largely the same. Not so much though, actually. Ottomans have climbed. So Egypt 2, Ottomans 4, France is 5, Morocco 6, Tunis, Naples, England's 14, 2 spots up from where they were last time I saw. Hungary 16. In fact, I think they flipped. Castile 18, Smolensk, Aragon. Sweden's 27, above us. Poland, Kiev, Lithuania's 32, Mali's 33, we are 34. Portugal's 36. Remember, we were about 45 not long ago, so we're at that highest ever point. As others embrace institutions, though, I'm sure we'll drop down at least a little bit again, but we have grown. We've grown a lot. Look back on that, though. There was another thing. Form the U.S. Northumberland we can do, but Northumberland we don't want to do. It's tier 1. We are currently a tier 2 Scotland. Great Britain's a tier 3. That would be great. Canada's a tier 3. That would be alright. U.S. clearly is the top one, but we have to destroy or subjugate England to get the Great Britain one. The U.S. one is much more likely, as so much of that is our colonies. I think we could easily get to the 220 to form that early into that next stage. Eldrez, another core, 2 more maps. Before I say yes, look at the right. See, give me my 14%. Please. No, darn it. France, back to war with the HRE for the first time in a while. We may actually want to participate this time. And it's still not happening. We're still not getting our window of opportunity to finally close out and annex those 2 vassals. I'll just have to wait on it. For now, that is going to do it for this one. Inverness 28.9. They're almost there. It's just over 1k to go. Short term, obviously, we want to get Inverness into a city and get the local governor. The other thing was getting the Norwegian culture in, which we've done, and we've got it down to a 0.01s. We're very close to not having any penalty for doing that a little early. But here comes war with the HRE, and it's going to probably eventually pop up into Saxe-Lauenburg, which means they will be able to invade some of our lands, in which case I think we might bring our forces up there and stand by, because if anything, if Saxe-Lauenburg joins in and we have 50k, 60k here, we could march right in, take a little bit of land, and separate peace. No. It's not how that one works. It's whoever their main goal. We can't separate peace Saxe-Lauenburg. We'd have to separate peace whoever Manderscheid. We would have to separate peace them. And they're going to be down here somewhere. That's the boy. I'm not sure where they're at, but either way, that's the annoying thing with these larger coalition type wars. Even though it's not a coalition, it's just gigantic HRE block. Alright folks, anyway, that's going to do it for this one. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Thanks for tuning in with me on this one. We are making our progress. It's 1689 now, down to what, 140-ish years to go. 150, just under 150 years to go. We're, what, 52 years into this age, so my goal was to get there yesterday. We've gotten there and just barely past that today, so definitely behind the 8 ball on that one. And those releases, 3 new game releases, are right around the corner, like what, next week for 1 and 2 of them the week after. I'm gonna be busy. I don't think I'm gonna get this campaign done as early as I want it to, but that's gonna have to do it for now. I have other work to do. Thanks for being here. Have a good one. Be safe. Bye for now.